We've all been there, right? You're curled up on the couch, maybe reading a great book, and when you finally go to stand up, bam! Your own body completely turns against you. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to unpack one of the most universally relatable, just kind of bizarre biological mysteries out there, the exact science of why your limbs fall asleep. Let's dive in and see what's actually going on under the surface.
So have you ever felt like your foot is just completely detached from your body after you've been sitting awkwardly for a while? I want you to really recall that exact moment. You've been sitting on the floor, you go to stand up, and suddenly, absolutely nothing. It literally feels like you're dragging around a heavy, lifeless block of wood instead of your own leg. For a split second, there's this total disconnect between your brain yelling move and your leg actually doing it. It's a super bizarre, almost unnerving feeling to just suddenly lose connection with a part of your own body, isn't it?
And then, a few seconds later, it hits you. Thousands of tiny needles. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that incredibly strange, almost electric tingling that just washes over the whole limb. It starts out as this dull numbness, and then, boom, it quickly ramps up into a static-like sensation. It's honestly like old television static is playing right inside your foot. It's uncomfortable, maybe a little bit ticklish, and just deeply, deeply weird. Grounding ourselves in this visceral feeling is actually really important because it highlights just how strange this specific physical reaction truly is. So, what is actually causing this invisible barrage of needles?
Well, for years, pretty much all of us grew up believing this classic myth. You know the one, oh, my foot fell asleep because I cut off the blood circulation. We kind of just assume we pinched a vein and stopped the blood. But actually, scratch that. That is simply not true. I mean, think about it. If you genuinely cut off all blood flow to your leg for that long, the tissue would be in serious danger, and your leg would literally start turning blue. Now, the real culprit here, the actual cause of the whole shebang, is physical pressure being applied directly to your nerves.
To really get this, think of your nerves as biological wires. They make up this massive, highly complex network that just transmits signals back and forth between your brain and the rest of your body. So your brain says, hey, move the toe. That signal travels down the wire and boom, the toe moves. Or the toe touches something hot, the signal zips up the wire and your brain screams hot. When you start visualizing your nervous system this way, like a giant electrical grid, the whole phenomenon of a limb falling asleep suddenly makes perfect logical sense.
Okay, so here is the exact biological timeline of what's happening. First, you sit in a weird position, and that physically compresses those delicate little nerve wires. Second, because of that intense physical compression, the signal transmission just pauses. It basically hits a roadblock, and the brain completely loses its connection to the foot. Third, you finally stand up, which instantly relieves that pressure. And fourth, this is the crazy part. The moment that physical block is gone, all those pent-up, paused signals flood back in all at once. That sudden, totally chaotic rush of electricity firing back up and racing to your brain, that is exactly what your body interprets as that tingling, pins and needles sensation.
So here is your main takeaway for today. Your foot didn't actually fall asleep. Its nerves were just on a short break. The limb didn't shut down, it didn't run out of blood, and it definitely didn't sleep. The communication line just went on a temporary strike, all because you parked a heavy weight, literally your own body, right on top of the cable.
Which brings us to a really fun thought. Is there another mystery happening in your body right now that you just can't explain? I mean, our bodies do these quirky, strange things all the time, right? Everything from hiccups to brain freeze to those weird, sudden muscle twitches. What's yours? Feed that curiosity. The next time you experience one of these strange biological glitches, don't just brush it off. Stop and ask why. Because as we saw today with our biological wiring, there is always a fascinating, perfectly logical, scientific explanation just waiting to be uncovered. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, keep questioning that incredible machine that is your body.